So how does this differ from just standard online sports betting?
So I think that's a great question. With these prediction markets, they are actually governed and regulated by the CFTC, which is a federal agency, right? The federal agency overlooks all states across the United States. So it doesn't matter whether you're a person in New York or in Illinois, the CFTC holds the same set of rules across a federal mandate, which is different when it comes to sports betting, which is a state-by-state decision. The second thing with it is that these are actual markets, right? So what's occurring here is you actually have the sort of rigor and the leveraging of the power of the financial markets coming into play, where you have liquidity, you got transparency, as well as price discovery coming all together. And when that comes together, what that actually creates is a two-sided market. So if you think about it, with a sports bet, you basically go to a specific company, they provide you with a line, they provide you with a value, you then place that bet and it's with them directly, and it never actually goes anywhere else but to that one singular company. In the prediction markets, what you actually have is a two-sided market. It's buyers and sellers. You have retail participants, you have institutional participants, all coming together, and they're the ones who are actually deciding on what that line or what that probability is going to be, that trade. Now, the importance of that two-sided market is it gives you the opportunity to both take advantage if your trade goes up, where you can take profit, or if it's going down, it also gives you the opportunity to get out of that trade before that event occurs. So it actually treats and acts just like the deep liquid financial markets we have today in equities, options, and futures, unlike with the sports betting side, where you really just have to go to the actual ending of that event to either get paid or that you ended up having to pay into. So I think those are some of the key structures that are on there. And the last thing I think is important is these prediction markets are real-time moving markets. So as the event is coming closer and closer to its end, what you're seeing is the markets are moving based upon the probability. So again, as the markets may be moving, they're seeing, hey, we are 2 minutes left in a game, it's a 2-point game. That market is moving up and down based upon that probability of all those participants together. Unlike with a sports book, that line was pretty much established singularly at one point and is not necessarily moving quite as much or has that real-time feel or focus as when you have full-time participation in it.
So for March Madness this year, what are the types of predictions that we will see? In other words, is it just centered around who's going to win a certain game, or will there be all sorts of different predictions based on what happens in the game? Will a person make a shot, that type of thing?
So for the markets that prediction markets that we're providing at Robinhood, they are actually just focused on the outcome of the actual events, right? So, you know, on the one hand, you can choose who will win the national championship. You can also then pick individualized games along the way that you can choose to trade for both the men's and the women's brackets. So both of them are available to you. That's where we're keeping our focus on it for this set of prediction markets.
What are the tax rules around prediction markets?
So prediction markets work under the derivatives rules, which is what's called a P&L base, so profit and loss. So as they come in there, if you win or you lose or you gain or you lose money, that would then go into a 1099 structure setup that it does for all futures products that are out there and available today.
Do you feel like you have gotten a hint yet, or even bolder than a hint, a straight out statement from the Trump administration in terms of how they want to regulate these things relative to previous administrations? In other words, does the administration want to more or less deregulate these types of markets, or are they very involved in potentially heavily regulating them?
So our participation in the regulation of these markets is with the CFTC and with the NFA. The decision of how these markets will be regulated has been in many cases partially decided, right? So you've had the self-certification by a number of exchanges of these prediction markets, and they have been continuing to trade and be made available for, I would say, the last few months. I think whether or not the Trump administration may or may not have an opinion, that'll come out in their nomination for the new CFTC chair, which is Brian Quintenz. We'll hear more about that when he goes through the confirmation process, and then I'm sure he will go and set an agenda going forward. But as of right now, what we're doing is looking into what the current administration is telling us, how they are asking questions and communicating, and then we are providing product based upon those requirements in those directions.
Why are you doing this? In other words, did you have your own internal research that indicated, oh, there's like a lot of pent-up demand for sports prediction markets?
Well, I think you've watched over the years, sports as a whole has just been growing in interest, just globally, but also here in the United States. And what we did see is we did see an increased cross-section of our clients interested in participating in and involved in sports. And when you have that intersection come together, we as Robinhood want to bring our capabilities, our app, our trading venues to where clients are going, and that's exactly what we're doing with these sports prediction markets. I think the other thing that's interesting is you've always seen financial services kind of in the sports marketplace through sponsorships, through jersey patches. You know, Robinhood is the jersey patch sponsor for the Miami Heat, the Memphis Grizzlies, and of course the Washington Wizards, because we see that's where our clients are and they're interested in. So I think what sports prediction markets do is it gives clients a new opportunity to participate in markets in an incredibly transparent way. As the sports market continues to evolve and develop, we think that these are going to be one of the great indicators for clients to be able to access those products. So not only can they do it through equities, now they can do it through sports prediction markets. It's a new product that's going to be evolving, but it really provides access to where our clients are and want to be, and we think that's a great match to bring together.
So it sounds to me like you feel like the demand may be current Robinhood clients rather than new people that are going to be attracted to the service because of this offering. Is that correct?
No, I actually think it's both. I think we have seen it already within our existing client base has that interest. But again, I'll refer back to the presidential election contracts, right? When we offered that up, we opened up 800,000 net new Robinhood accounts to trade those products, and we saw over 500 million contracts traded. So the interest in the participation, I think, is across the board throughout the industry. The question will be is how do these markets come into play, and then how do people start to access it? We're at the beginning of that journey, not toward the end. So I think you're going to see this continue to evolve through all prediction, not just sports. I think you're going to see it with economics. I think you're going to see it with pop culture. I think you're going to see it with sports. I think you're going to see it with political or policy as well. All of those are going to come together, I think, and provide a very interesting marketplace that we think is going to continue to evolve over the next 6, 12 months and years to come.
So 500 million contracts for the presidential election. Do you have any estimates or goals in terms of volume for March Madness?
Well, I never predict. Ironically enough, I don't predict where I think these markets are going to go out.
You should put up a prediction market for the volume of.
No, I hear you. You aren't the first person to ask me that. But no, I think what we want to do is we want to provide product to our end clients and let them make the decision, because some clients may be interested in trading this product and some clients may not be. So what we do is we figure out, let's look for client interest, let's look for good, deep, liquid markets, let's bring them together and get them into a product that is a great client experience. What we feel is you get out of the Robinhood app and then let them make the decision. And look, we're going to let you decide, do you want to trade an economic contract about maybe where the Fed fund rate's going to be in May? Do you want to trade the men's college basketball? Do you want to trade the women's college basketball? We want to provide any and all access to clients. We just think that once that starts to develop and we start to build that out there, more and more clients will participate there and see where it could fit in their portfolio. Maybe it's with college basketball, maybe it's not. Maybe it was with the Super Bowl contracts. So again, we let clients make that decision.
Are you already thinking about the next sporting event after March Madness that you want to build contracts for? Might that be the Kentucky Derby or something even sooner?
So I'm always looking at what's possible next. So much to I think my team's dismay, I have had them working constantly to figure out what is the next product. I think that we don't divulge where we're going to go with the next product. I think that there are some very logical sports products that have the opportunity to come forward. I also think there's some really good and interesting economic prediction markets that are also coming through where I could see becoming very powerful. Things such as the jobs reports, things such associated with interest rates and stuff that have impacts on the economy as well. So I think actually what we're going to do is continue to develop and enhance our prediction hub so that when you come through the door, you can decide what it is you'd like to do, economics, sports, politics, or pop culture, and you can make that decision and then participate in that market.
If this really takes off in popularity, do you have any concern that the sports betting companies themselves may decide, you know what, we want to build a prediction markets wing off of our business and potentially, sort of take share away from Robinhood?
Look, I welcome any and all competitors into the marketplace. The fact of the matter is that the more people that are using the CFTC regulated, federally regulated markets and creating price transparency, liquidity, and two-sided markets, I think only makes the markets a stronger place. I think you see that today in the equity markets. I think you see it in the futures markets as well, that when you have lots of participation in the marketplace from both our competitors, but also institutionals and liquidity providers, et cetera, I think when they come in there, the power of the markets become that much more important. So I would say that if they're interested in getting into this marketplace, and I do know in some cases they are looking to go do that, that we would welcome that, because all we think it's going to do is build a better overall experience for end customers. And at the end of the day, what they're going to look at is who is your provider? And we really feel like Robinhood has created a client-focused technology platform, second to none. We have different ways for you to trade, whether it's through our Legend app or through our mobile app. And then more importantly, it's very intuitive, so it's actually easy, and we provide that to you with education as well. So when we can bring all of those pieces together, that great technology, education, and make it easier for you to be able to make a decision and make an investment, that becomes a powerful differentiator in our opinion, but we welcome any and all competitors to come to the marketplace.
Just to follow up there, you said that you had in fact heard that. Are you talking about the big guys, the DraftKings, FanDuel? Have they already kind of come to you and said, hey, look, we want to do this?
Not necessarily coming to us. We just have seen some news reports showing them looking to get registered with the NFA and the CFTC, the regulators of our entity of our industry. So the fact that they're coming into that industry makes it pretty clear to us that they see the validity of this marketplace that's out there. And I think what you're going to start to see is continuation of both brokerage firms like ourselves entering the market, but also potentially those other sports betting ones looking to enter into that marketplace at all. We saw this happen with crypto before. We're not surprised to see it in the sports world as well. So we think this is what's just sort of a natural evolution of a market, especially that's certainly very early in its development stages.
Who's winning the tournament?
Oh, I don't know. Fortunately, I went to a Division III school, so Middlebury College isn't going to be in the D1 tournament. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I do have some strong family ties to Duke, where my parents went. So my mother is giving me a pretty hard time about that. But I've got a sister from Auburn, and I've got some nieces and nephews that have gone to Tennessee and such. So I got a lot going on right now, and they're all asking me what I think, and I just say, hey guys, I let the markets decide. I don't.
Yeah, if Cooper Flagg is healthy, I've got Duke in the men's, and it's hard not to bet on South Carolina and the women's year after year.
Oh, I know. Well, they've done such an amazing job. I'm a Notre Dame guy from grad school, so I may be pulling a little bit on the Notre Dame side for that women's bracket, to be honest.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.